We're here right now at the Chemung County Fairgrounds in Horseheads, New York. It is ECPW Slamfest 21. Tommy Dreamer joining us, ECW legend, and of course WWE legend. Tommy, it's been a little while since we've seen you. Great to see you first and foremost. Tell us about this big event tonight here at the Chemung County Fairgrounds.
It's great to be seen, especially coming out of the whole pandemic, and we're here. And we got a nice packed house, and just driving in and seeing all these people coming out to the fair and supporting things that we all, I guess, took for granted for a long time. I'm just happy to still be around and doing it.
And I know, Tommy, your career's always evolved. One of the great stories that we were just chatting about a minute ago about with Beth Phoenix, being an Elmira native from local city right next to Horseheads. You signed her and gave her that first position. We saw the documentary on the network. Really excellent story there. Take us back to that moment.
Let me take my mask off. Beth she always had it. She always had that it factor, and she has proven me right since the first day that I remember seeing her, and she has blown me away with how great of a commentator she has become. And that's the mark of a true professional, a true Hall of Famer. Any task that has been given to her, she knocks it out of the park. She could basically take your job too. I'm just letting you know. She's really good as a commentator.
Yeah, she's no doubt great. And she always said, I remember her Hall of Fame speech said, you were always a champion for the little guy. You're given that respect and given that honor and an opportunity, which is amazing to see. Talk about what's going on now for you. Obviously, Impact Wrestling, moving forward, still doing some plenty of podcasting, radio things.
For me, man, listen, during the whole pandemic, the beauty about professional wrestling, the world literally stopped, but wrestling kept going, and it never stopped, and that's such greatness for professional wrestling. I don't think it gets enough credit. Working for Impact Wrestling, doing Busted Open on Sirius XM, and it's wrestling in 2020 has been insane with AEW and Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and there's so many great opportunities have come out for a lot of men and women that weren't there for me when I started, but now that the world hopefully is opening up, but the wrestling business has definitely opened up because of the circumstance that we have, and we're seeing some of the best wrestling literally every night. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it's certainly being someone who's well versed in the industry, been everywhere, literally, every big promotion, you name it. And ECW certainly. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about that real quickly tonight. Putting your stamp on that, on the business. Guys like you, RVD, Taz, so many. Looking back on that now, what are you most proud of those ECW days? Was it just making your mark?
I'm still proud that in 2021 I'm still relevant, and no matter where I go out, people chant for my body of work. And when they chant for ECW, it's me saying every bone that I broke, every drop of blood, every sweat that poured out of my body was worth it, because fans, ECW's gone 20 years, and they still love and remember it. When they post stuff on the WWE Network or YouTube and social media, people are like, hey, you remember this? Just this week was 25 years ago, Taz suplexed me off a stage, and when I see that, my hair is a lot better than it currently is. I'm about 20 pounds lighter, and it was a great time in my life.
Yeah, and just two more quick things. We'll get you back to the show here, obviously. Awesome crowd out here tonight for a nice summer night. But a lot of talk right now about Deathmatch Wrestling. And Nick Gage, Jericho on AEW certainly brought down the house in many respects. Obviously, there's a niche for that. Obviously, there's a huge audience for that. Not much different, really, from your guys' style in ECW. Maybe amped a little bit differently.
There is definitely a genre and a fan base for deathmatch wrestling. I look back on some of the things that I've done. I'd be a hypocrite if I said I hate deathmatch wrestling or stuff, because the guys go out there and entertain in the way that they do, and people would make fun of me for stuff that I would do back in the day. I just hope that wrestlers are smarter. Back in the day, we didn't have blood tests. We didn't have a lot of stuff. Wrestlers need to do that when they're doing those type of matches, because there is an inherent risk to it, where I'm 50 years old now, and I wouldn't do the things I did. You learn when you're older, but if people are tested and they're willing to do that, it's awesome. My hat's off to them. I have nothing but respect for them.
Excellent, Tommy. Our last question here, Slamfest 21, right here in Sonoma County Fairgrounds. I wanted to ask you about a lot of free agents out there, a lot of big signings going to every which promotion right now. Certainly the talk of CM Punk, Undertaker's being mentioned even now in certain respects. Who is that big signing in your eyes that's going to really change the culture of where they're going?
It reminds me of the Monday Night Wars. AEW has definitely brought excitement back into professional wrestling. If Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and CM Punk show up in AEW, it's going to be like when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall showed up in WCW. They're going to be the outsiders, and it will. There's a shift been going, but it's must-see television. I like the fact that they're all on different nights because I don't have enough DVR space to watch both at the same time. But those two guys, if that happens, it'll be amazing for wrestling. And finally, we'll stop hearing the "We Want CM Punk" chants.
They'll be done, right?
Yes.
So, well, Tommy Dreamer, thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Always
the
nice to see you.
Innovator of Violence right here in Horseheads, New York. We're checking out.